Man, not again. How the hell did I end up in Silent Hill again? God, I must have done something wrong. Oh, man, look at this run-down shithole this place is. Does look different for some reason, though. Hey! Cool, somebody else in Silent Hill, man. How'd you get here?
Silent Hill?
Yeah, Silent Hill, right?
Bro, this ain't no Silent Hill. Can't you hear Cleveland rocks in the background? You in Cleveland, brother.
This is Cleveland, and where is everybody?
Well, most people left when LeBron did, and, well...
Okay, well, what about all this smoke, man, this fog?
Snoop Dogg, Cheech and Chong, right around the corner.
Well, that explains a lot. That would explain why I'm so damn paranoid and why I'm so hungry. Hey, let's go get some cheesesteaks.
Alright, I'm down. Bet.
Hello everybody, it's been a long time coming, but here it is. I'm finally here and doing it. That's right, my Silent Hill 2 remake review. This was published by Konami and developed by Bloober team and released on October 8th of 2024 for the PlayStation 5 and PC. Now, honestly, I have to say this hands down without a shadow of a doubt. I think Silent Hill 1 and 2 are GOATs, totally one of the greatest games of all time, in my own personal opinion. Now, I grew up in that time frame, and I remember playing these games that absolutely struck me to the core of my soul of just how disturbing they were. Silent Hill 1 wasn't as good, but, you know, it was the first, but it set it up. Silent Hill 2, hands down, has, like, the best disturbing story of all time, and in this remake, it actually carries through. Once again, you play as James Sunderland, going back to the town of Silent Hill because he received a letter from his wife saying that she wanted to meet him back in a place that they fell in love with and was so dear to him. The only thing is his wife died several years ago due to cancer. And you go back and a poor dude suffers all kinds of trials and tribulations and suffering, trying to come to grips with the fact of all the suffering and trauma and loss that he dealt with. Now, the original one actually had certain things about it that is different than this remake, which I have to say, first of all, I'm trying to be non-biased with this at all because I am a die-hard original lover of the original game. But for an updated version, I have to admit, Bloober team did good on this. They really did. While there are a lot of things that they did kind of tweak, almost like a remixed version. If you play this compared to the original one, you're going to know immediately, like, okay, this is a different location. They've expanded this. There's a lot of areas you can explore now that's been added to the town of Silent Hill. They add a lot more like backstories and notes you collect and stuff like that, which I absolutely love. The town of Silent Hill looks fantastic. This is running an Unreal Engine 5. Now, I know a lot of people before the official launch date had issues with stuttering and slowdown. I have not. I played it before, and I never actually count a game before launch because they always have a day one patch or something that fixes it. I have not had any issues with this game. No stuttering, no slowdown, and I'm playing it in performance mode. You can play it in performance mode or fidelity mode, and it has all kinds of different options to add. So, like if you are visually impaired, hearing impaired, they add a lot of options, which I've always loved with this. Now, the one thing I will have to say I kind of miss is I love the originals. Angles of views. There were certain things where you'd go down an alleyway and the camera would pan and follow you and go like over top of you, over your head view. And apparently they didn't do that in the original for like any other reason than the fact that it was just an issue with the game itself. The game engine couldn't handle the draw distance, so they creatively did stuff like that with camera angles to actually hide some mess ups. And honestly, I kind of miss that. I wish there was a mode in this where you could go back to where they add that. Maybe in the future they will. That would take a lot of effort and time, because this is almost a modernization version, similar to what they did with Resident Evil 2, to where now it's a over-the-shoulder third person where you control James as he goes through Silent Hill, where they expanded a lot of certain areas and other ones not so much. It's a very true to the original game, and I appreciate that, but at the same time, there's some tweaks that they did, which I'm still okay with, but I'm like, okay, if you tweak this, why didn't you tweak that? You know, the graphical fidelity running off Unreal Engine 5 is fantastic. Though I have noticed, like, even in the scene right here, I even walked around in the mud to see if I could get mud and footprints. There were no mud and no footprints. But that's just nitpicky. That's just nitpicky. Visually, it's a stunner. It looks great. The fog, the ambiance, they brought back, like, the original composer of Silent Hill 2. And you can tell because the music is spot on. Play this with headphones. Play this with headphones, seriously. It's deeply, deeply disturbing. A lot of people went out and complained. They're like, either they wanted a completely new remake or they wanted something that stayed 100% true to the original. I'm not as biased. Even with the slight glitches, like some reflection glitches and some other issues with it, visually it looks great, it plays great. And I like the fact that you got to think James is not a superhero. He is not a military guy. He's a Joe Schmo coming there to try to find his wife as the story progresses. So he's going to be a little bit clunky. And I love the fact that he's clunky, but he's like refined clunky. Now, what I mean by that is the control. Dude has he can unlimited sprint. Well, I don't know. I guess he's like he used to practice running or something. But he has an unlimited sprint, and he's got a dodge mechanic along with the classic hack and slash melee attacks, along with the different weapons that you get as you progress through the game. And it's done in a way to where it kind of comes off as kind of clunky by design. I noticed that. I'm like, okay, why didn't they update this? Like, no, they want him to feel kind of slow and chuggy. And but one thing I will say this immediately, anyone who's played Callisto Protocol is going to be like, okay, hit, dodge, hit, dodge for most of the normal enemies. And that annoyed me, but I got past it. I'm like I said, I'm a huge fan of the original game, and I'm not wanting to sit here and kiss up to this. Okay, I played through this game 3 times now before I came out with my review, because I wanted to really sit down and go through it and take my rose-colored glasses off, because I am a diehard fan of the original. But I have to sit here and say, I don't like Bloober Team. I do not like what they've made, but I have to give them credit. They obviously love the Silent Hill franchise, and this is a fantastic remake. It takes just enough of the original and adds a little bit of new stuff to it, to where it entices the new modern day gamer to actually play this and go, okay, what was the original like? Go back and play the original and compare it to this. It's drastically different, okay? They have different areas they've added. They've got new areas you can progress through. But at the same time, no new enemies, no new, real weapons or anything. And I was amazed by this, playing through and go, oh, I remember this area. I go through here. Nope, they mix it up. Honestly, it's like a remixed version of the original game, with much higher fidelity graphics, much, I wouldn't say much better gameplay, but a decent emphasis on updating some of the gameplay, some of the mechanics. The puzzles stand out. Honestly, I'm impressed by the puzzles, the different layers that they have of complexity based on what difficulty you pick. Honestly, the puzzles were really, really good. The boss battles were better than the original, but not by much. I mean, honestly, if you look at what they did with Resident Evil 2 Remake, this one, the boss battles aren't much better than the original. They do add stuff to it. They make it a little bit more interesting. But the original was just like attack, attack, run, attack, attack, run. This one mixes it up with the dodge mechanic and other items that get in the way that the enemies will destroy. But I can't really complain about it. It is an improvement of the original. Visually, it's great. The voice acting is phenomenal. The music is great. The sound, like I said, play this with a headset on. It's honestly really, really good. Now, you're looking at this a full price game of $70 on the PlayStation 5 and PC. Hopefully, they come out with it on some other system down the road. I believe there is a one-year exclusive deal with Sony, and it will go to Xbox, which I'm happy for. Just like the Dead Space remake, this is a fantastic remake. And I have no problem if you're remaking games that I love to play again in a modern day gaming system, as long as you add new bells and whistles. This adds just enough, even though they should have added a little bit more. I mean, honestly, new enemy types would have been great, but I get it. I get where they're going with this. I really do. And this is kind of a polarizing game. There are a lot of people that have been trashing it because it strays away from being an exact remake of the original. And there's others that actually impressed with it over the fact of what they did with this. Honestly, I never thought in a million years I would be saying this. I did a rant a while back trashing Bloober team, saying they did not deserve the right to actually remake, Silent Hill 2. And I have to retract that statement. I have to. They obviously know the IP and love it, and they did a fantastic job with this. It's got additional endings. It's got new things you can do in it. They expanded on the world in itself, but while keeping the story true to the original. The voice acting is top-notch. The graphics are phenomenal. Honestly, I absolutely love this game. And I'm trying not to be biased. I'm really not. Because don't get me wrong, I still always have a soft spot for the original title. But I cannot sit here and deny what Bloober team actually did. They actually made a diamond out of this. They really did. This is a disturbing, stressful, nerve-wracking game that is gross looking. It's disgusting. It's so depressing. And they hit all the right notes. They did. They really did it. And if you can agree or disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. If you love the original more than this, that's great. I understand that, and I can respect that. But you cannot sit here and not deny the fact that they actually did good with this. I enjoyed it. I love the different endings in it. Honestly, it's got decent replayability. It's a lot longer than the original game. They tacked on quite a bit long. I think this is close to like damn near 20 hours long game. So I give them credits. I really do. But in the end, that's just my own personal opinion. Do you agree or disagree with me on this review? Is there anything that I forgot to point out with this particular game? Honestly, do you think there's something they should have added to it, or maybe something they should have removed? I don't have a problem with changing things if the game actually plays almost like the original. And this one still has the heart and soul of the original with a really cool new coat of paint and some decent upgrades, even though they could have upgraded a little bit more. But that's my own personal opinion. Please leave it in the comments below. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave lots of comments below. And of course, here at Devil Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.